Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining Open for Business with Glenn Allison, VP of Information Technology at Tractor Supply Company. As a reminder, if you have any questions throughout the conversation, to please submit them using the Q&A button on the bottom of your screen. Here's your host, Deborah Weinswig, CEO and founder of Coresight Research.
Thanks so much, Drew. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's conversation. To date, Coresight Research has produced and hosted over 75 digital events. We've covered topics across the retail and technology landscape, from the future of supply chain to pivoting your business during the crisis, and many others as it relates to real estate and technology. It's really our goal with these events to bring together and provide valuable insights to our community of retailers and brands and technology companies. Today, we're featuring on our website a report entitled Measuring the Value of Retail Data Sharing and Analytics that we wrote in partnership with SPS. I hope you can find some time after today's event to read our deep dive into the opportunities and challenges for retailers and vendors sharing inventory and POS data. Turning to today, I am honored to have Glenn Allison with us to discuss how technology has truly catapulted Tractor Supply to pivot quickly and also, more importantly, expand their reach this year. In a time of uncertainty, the company has responded by focusing on improving its e-commerce capabilities, while really keeping the customers and employees' needs in mind and truly, I think, at the front of everything they've done. Glenn Allison is the VP of Information Technology for Tractor. And for those of you who don't know Tractor, which seems hard, the company is the largest rural lifestyle retailer in the United States with it's almost 2,000 stores now and approximately $9 billion in revenues. The company leverages AI, automation, innovation to truly personalize the customer experience, both in-store and online, as well as leverage machine learning to meet and, more importantly, anticipate shoppers' needs. Glenn has had a truly distinguished career, including time spent at Kellogg, where he led global architecture and engineering functions to support supply chain modernization. He also previously held several leadership roles at W.W. Grainger, one of the largest e-commerce retailers in the United States. Glenn and I have shared many great conversations on the role of innovation in retail, and he is truly a thought leader in the industry. Glenn serves the industry in many ways, including as the vice chairman of the NRF Technology Leadership Council, and he and I both serve as board members of the Northwestern Retail Analytics Council. I'd like to thank you, Glenn, for joining us today. It's truly an honor.
Yeah, no, thank you, Deborah. It's great to be part of the discussion today.
So let's just start at the beginning. How has the company pivoted both online and offline in 2020?
Sure. So first, I want to say a thank you to really all of the Tractor Supply team members, over 38,000 team members that have really leaned in response to COVID-19 and supporting our customers and the local communities that we operate. We've really had to pivot in a short period of time to respond to just the changing customer needs. We've had a pandemic steering committee meetings in place, every day, cross-functional leadership support to make sure that we do everything possible to ensure, the safety of our team members and our customers. And then also, looking at opportunities, how do we accelerate, bringing new digital capabilities to our customers? And really, this is a generational moment. I think many of us will remember this time for many years. I think we'll look back at this time period and how we had to respond, with COVID-19, how we've leaned in, as retailers and supporting the essential needs of our customers. And being there for them, and just the importance of how the retail industry, supports, all of the consumers. And so, I think as an industry, we should all be really proud of kind of how we've been able to respond to supporting our customers during this period of time.
As you think about, the ability to quickly pivot, what, and I'm sure there's always a long list of, kind of what you would like to do, what's, kind of top of the list, bottom list. How did you kind of not only divide and conquer, but really choose what to focus on?
Sure. So I would say, for one, we've got a very strong culture. It's part of our DNA as a company, supporting our mission and values. One of our values is in change, embracing change and being able to respond kind of quickly. I would say with the changing kind of consumer trends, whether that's, nesting, where customers are spending more time at home, they're engaging in more home improvement projects, lawn and garden, outdoor recreation, really understanding our customer, their changing needs, and being able to make sure, we've got a localized assortment, we've got a synchronized supply chain, that we're able to very quickly kind of respond to have the types of products that our customers need. So it's very much a needs-based business. I would say, we've made investments in the team, hiring, over 5,000 new team member roles to make sure, that the stores, we've got all the necessary sanitization in place. We're sanitizing the carts, we're sanitizing high touch surfaces. We want to ensure a safe shopping experience for our customers, a safe environment for our team members, really leaning in, on safety. We've had over 100 different action items, as part of our pandemic steering committee. So daily, we're meeting and we're putting into action response with COVID-19. Investment in technology. So there's numerous examples where, we've taken digital capabilities and rolled them to the chain very quickly. Several examples might be, curbside. We rolled curbside pickup out to the chain, over 1,800 stores in 3 days. Expansion of same-day delivery capabilities chain-wide in partnerships such as Roadie. Deployment of our first mobile app and integrating tighter integration between the online experience and mobile experience, for our customers, and in-store pickup options or curbside pickup options, and integration, with loyalty. So those are just a few examples. I think, Deborah, when we've talked, it's almost like 5 years of technology work that we've now compressed into a few months. And again, I would cite back to the team. Really highly engaged team, over 38,000 team members that are aligned on, our mission, taking care of our customers, the local communities that we operate in, and really moving quickly. We will emerge stronger, from this pandemic than going in. So, we're making those strategic investments to support our customers for the long run.
Glenn, you and I have spoken about how, consumer behavior has really changed, what they're purchasing has changed. How are you, kind of staying on top of that? Because I assume it changes, by the minute, if not by the week, and localizing inventory. And then another challenge we've heard from a lot is just, on-shelf availability.
Right. So, some of this has come up, I know, just in our discussions at the Northwestern Retail Analytics Council, which actually, I think that was probably the last time we saw each other at NRF, and it's just like the whole world changed since that meeting. But the importance of just data, analytics, being able to get insights on, what's going on at just a macroeconomic level, what's going on, with consumers, share a wallet, how are, shopping trends, what's going on, from our customers, and the insights that we have from loyalty, and doing everything possible to make sure we support our customers. So I would say data and analytics would be an example of where, we're leveraging, data and getting insights from data to better serve our customers. We've got, over 1,800 retail stores, but very much, it's one store and 1,800, plus local communities. So we've, that localized assortment is really important. We want to make sure we've got the types of products that customers need, locally for them. It's a needs-based business. In many cases, customers need products same day, whether they're, coming into the store to purchase or, curbside pickup or, same day delivery.
And what have been some of the trends you've seen in online, whether it's just growth or how consumers are engaging with you?
Well, I think customers want to be able to shop anytime, anywhere, anyway. With our one tractor strategy, we've strategically focused our investments better integrating that experience. So to make it easy for customers to shop however they choose, but creating an integrated experience. So, they may be researching a particular project and, looking at online or, planning for a project and need to make secure inventory and be able to get that product, same day or delivered, and just, having that level of flexibility that we can give our customers choice and just make it as frictionless, as of a shopping experience as possible. And we're not finished. I mean, this is constantly, ever evolving. We're going to continue to listen to our customers and make the investments that we need to in order to continue to just make the shopping experience really legendary, customer experience for them.
We're hearing from a lot of retailers that they're, kind of piloting contract tracing. Kind of where is Tractor with that, and how important do you think that ends up being for, getting retail truly reopened?
Well, I'd say safety is really our number one priority. We've done a number of actions, whether that's mask requirement, for team members and customers, having PPE available in the stores, sanitization, equipment, supplies. We've done things like paid time off for all team members, if sick. So safety is absolutely a critical priority. I would say contact tracing is part of our overall strategy. We're in the process of vetting a number of different solutions and, looking at what are some of the best capabilities, whether that's for our stores, our distribution centers, or, our main corporate office, the store support center. But from a contact tracing perspective, we want to, if someone was to become infected, we want to be very, very quickly to understand who that team member may have come into contact with. So, you could trace and then perform testing. Obviously contact tracing is very important, not only just for the retail industry, but just the overall just society, and the importance of kind of controlling the spread of COVID-19. I think there's been a number of examples, globally where, effective contact tracing, approaches can really help control with the spread of the virus.
Glenn, over time, you and I have spoken a lot about, working with startups, innovation, kind of how do we stay on top of all the new technology? And, right now it continues to really, be incredibly dynamic. How is that changing, right? Since you're, if you think about where you're spending your time, how are you able to kind of stay on top of all the new innovations and then think about what's right for Tractor?
So I think workforce development is an important part of that. So, we're actively engaged in just a number of campuses throughout the United States. So an internship program is an example of that, where we recruit from, MIT with internships on AI and a number of other schools. So internship programs and giving interns meaningful projects to work on. So, over the summer, we've had a number of just various, data and analytics related projects and others. We've also done in the community partnerships with colleges and universities on, I'll give you a few examples, like an apprenticeship program, where we're creating a pipeline of talent into the organization, which I'm finding in a lot of cases they have great ideas, and as they're learning the business, kind of bringing new kind of ideas on how we might improve the customer experience. So we launched one of the first apprenticeship programs in the state of Tennessee. We have a program where it's called the Learn and Earn program, where we've got office space on campus with the local university, and give students the opportunity to work on tractor supply related projects and apply kind of what they're learning in the classroom with real business problems and developing solutions. Like an example, we've been working with students on development of bots that automate software processes. So like robotic process automation, and using those technologies to just automate a lot of the back end processes, whether it's finance, accounting, supply chain. And so, we've been able to start a number of different pilots, get learnings, and then look at opportunities, where do we take these things to the chain and really accelerate and get the benefit. So, I think workforce development is a really important part of it. That pipeline of talent into the organization, and also having, really meaningful work, for them to work on. We have great partnerships with the business and understanding, where are their customer pain points, and then constantly looking, how can we kind of improve the customer experience.
As you think about this kind of evolving customer experience, I know that there, and you mentioned a few times this idea around loyalty. From a consumer perspective, where does loyalty fit in these days? And is there also an opportunity around community, right? Not only local communities, but kind of the tractor community. Can you help us think through that?
Sure. So we have a loyalty program called Neighbors Club. Great partnership from the business with our marketing department, where that has been scaled to millions of members. So we better understand our customers, customer segmentation, better understanding how to communicate with our customers, more relevant offers, really drive more personalized experience for our customers online as well as in store. So I think, the data, the analytics, being able to get insights around customers, and what we've built with the Neighbors Club program is an example of that.
Great. And then, I'll ask this last question, then we'll turn it over to audience Q&A. What's ahead?
Sure. So, we've got a number of initiatives that are in flight, many of which we're accelerating. So, mobility is very strategic importance. We're, making chain-wide upgrades with wireless, to continue to expand our abilities with use of mobile point of sale, and, our mobile devices within store that can help, with the selling experience for customers. We're in the process of rolling out Theatro digital communicators chain-wide, which will really be foundational, in helping improve communication within the store, as well as, at the district level, but then driving a level of integration, with the APIs that they have available, so curbside pickup, and really being able to create a frictionless experience, for our customers. We're continuing to focus on the enhanced mobility capabilities for our team members. As I mentioned, we recently launched our first customer mobile app on iOS and Android. We're seeing tremendous adoption there. We will continue to lean in and accelerate new digital capabilities there, and you'll see that continue to get integrated, to make that customer shopping experience, anytime, anywhere, anyway. We're continuing to drive greater agility, automation of processes. So, like, as I mentioned, with robotic process automation, we're doing more and more around data and analytics and gaining insights. And then contactless payments and, continue to respond, as part of COVID-19. We want to make a very safe shopping experience, for our customers, our team members, and accelerating kind of digital capabilities, such as that in response.
Just a short list.
Deborah, I did give you the short list. There's a much longer list. So we're it's very busy. It's a very exciting time, I think, to be in the retail industry. Customers really count on Tractor Supply, for essential needs. We do a lot just in the local communities that we operate. So, they're our neighbors. We have over 117,000 hours just in the last year of volunteering and supporting our local communities. So, while we have a lot of work ahead and we're, accelerating, we're looking at how do we move faster, with these digital capabilities. It's in support of those customers that are and we live in these local communities. So it's very important to us.
Great. We have a very long list. I want to thank everybody who's joined us on the phone or on the webinar for submitting questions. I will be taking them throughout the Q&A session, but I guess let's jump right in. All very constructive.
Do I get to ask any questions?
That's the next webinar.
Okay, fine. All right, that's fair.
What projects are ahead for employee communication and task management for the stores?
For task management, we've already deployed chain-wide solutions around workforce management. So labor, we look strategically. We want to have as much of our team members' time centered around serving customers and giving them the best experience. So, from a labor management perspective, we're looking at, whether it's planogram resets or kind of other activities that might be going on in the store. We want to be conscious of making sure we're spending time in the best way. We've optimized it. We've also, drove more efficiency with those types of processes. So we've looked at, individual processes that are in the store, and then looked at how do we remove waste from those processes, make it easier for our team members to perform, some of the daily, weekly, or monthly type of work activities. So we've really not only just kind of put the tool in and kind of how do you manage and kind of allocate the tasks, but really leaned in and looked at what are those tasks, and then how do you drive more automation? How do you drive more efficiency? Because the spirit of it is we want as much team member time focused on the customer.
That makes a ton of sense. We actually had I thought this was an excellent question, and I've heard it as it relates to other retailers as well. But along the lines of the one you just answered, how are you ensuring frontline employees are aware of changes to processes and procedures to support your CX initiatives?
So communication is another one of our values. So it's part of our culture. I think through all of this, we've had regular, leadership updates. We've had regular team huddles. We've had to pivot. In some cases, we've had, meetings that were typically, face-to-face. Like take like our leadership meeting, as an example where, typically we would have our district managers all meet, together for leadership updates and communication, and then, the district managers would help, with communication in the stores. We pivoted that, and it's virtual, right? So, we're embracing tools like video conferencing, collaboration. So I would say, if anything, we've increased communication through all of this, but found new ways, leveraging digital to be able to really keep our team, informed through all of this. And there's just a number of different kind of communication channels ahead. There's still And we're going to continue to make investments there. I think, with having Theatro chain-wide, every team member in our stores will have the ability to get, updates from their team, their store manager, their district manager, senior leadership. The team will be connected together, in support of our customers.
Great. Another question, does what you've been able to accomplish these last few months change the discussion of the IT roadmap items for the future?
So the reality is you're going to have changes. So if we went back a year, and you've got your kind of annual planning process, and you've got intake of business cases and review of ROI and allocation of capital in the portfolio. And so we have well-defined processes for all of that. However, change happens, and we've got to have a process in place to account for that, which we do. So especially as part of COVID-19, as new digital, accelerated digital initiatives came in, we actively, met as an IT organization regularly to review the portfolio. In some cases, there was examples where we had to bring in several initiatives, accelerate them. How do we get them out to the chain? Curbside pickup's an example. How do we get that capability out to the chain in 3 days? So there's examples where we're going to really step on the gas and accelerate. There's other examples in the portfolio where we may have kind of slowed down specific initiatives, or looked at how do we just resource up an additional capacity to be able to keep existing initiatives in flight while also supporting the accelerated initiatives.
Great. I'm going to ask you 2 more questions, hard to choose, but one's very detailed and one is more high level. Can you share your thoughts on the benefits of a centralized versus decentralized data, BI, AI function, and how to best drive analytics through a retail business?
So, when I think of kind of centralized kind of BI, there's probably the traditional, BI business objects type reporting, where IT is working, together with business partners to develop reports. And, it's very important the data in those reports, the insights, are trusted. And so, that's an important component, of your data and analytics strategy is your business reporting. But there's also a need, for whether that's customer data, product data, being able to get advanced analytics, whether that's your, data scientists, in marketing or other functions, being able to look at that data across the enterprise. So, it's not siloed. We're able to look at, data from an enterprise perspective and gain, insights. So we've got partnerships with, Microsoft Azure, Snowflake, where we're able to, with our data, our capabilities in the cloud with data, being able to gain those types of kind of enterprise insights. And then you have, there's unstructured data and structured data, and methods in how do you also pull in, third-party, external data, whether that could be macroeconomic data and kind of what's going on with GDP and unemployment. And, there may be a number of kind of headwinds and tailwinds and, use of data models and analytics to be able to get kind of insights on, the future.
So we had a lot of questions around kind of your biggest challenge or challenges during the pandemic. And I think just, kind of, from the heart, what has been challenging in this environment for you, and, how have you worked with the organization to solve it?
So, one of the challenges has really been, we've had to do a number of pivots, right? Just in response to our customers. Our volumes have increased, greatly. So, our sales in Q2 were up 30.5% 5%. So transactionally, there's a lot more volume within the stores. We're accelerating kind of digital capabilities. So we've had to do a number of pivots just in response to the customer and making sure, from a supply chain perspective, we're keeping, inventory in position, for our customers, in the local markets. And I would point back to just, we've got such a strong culture, and strong team, with over 38,000 team members that, even though there were so many different kind of headwinds and challenges, put in the path, as a team, we really worked together and rallied, as a Tractor Supply team in just support of our customers.
Great, Glenn. Thank you so much. I have so many more questions still. Maybe another time, and then you can ask questions as well of us in the audience.
Yes, we need to do like a leadership or kind of another event in the future and make it more of like a mixer or something. I don't know.
I would love that.
It'd be great to, for us to be able to ask some more questions and keep the dialogue going. So, but Deborah, I really appreciate the time today and being able to talk with you and share our story.
Thanks so much. Take care. Be well.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.